I'd like to start off by thanking the folks responsible for the selection process. In requesting me to become involved last winter, I was truly humbled when asked and appreciate the opportunity. In the past, I had the pleasure of presenting Pete Fiandaca and Paul Dunnigan to the Hall of Fame. This year, I have the pleasure of suggesting a driver that I strongly feel deserves the honor. And I'd like to thank the finalist committee of NEAR for being in agreement. It is no secret the name of Dwight Jarvis came up last year, but a little more work needed to be done, namely research. It was needed. It was suggested that I might consider Dwight as my first assignment, so we moved forward. With the help of guys like Phil Chastanet and Michael Weld, the research was underway, and I am very grateful for their help. The man that really needs to be up here today couldn't be here. A longtime voice of the Monadnock Speedway, Dave Sutherland. Many may not know, Dave is a historian when it comes to the high banks. Not only has he called races at Monadnock since its opening, he has documented every single top 5 finish of every race contested at the Dog since it opened. And a big thank you to him, my good friend Dave Sutherland, for his huge help. He recently moved to Florida. He couldn't make turnaround flights. You can imagine how that is. He couldn't make it work to be here today. He regrets it, that he had to pass on this opportunity. He asked me that I send along his best wishes to all of the inductees. And now just a few of the highlights, because I could go on an outstanding Hall of Fame career. Ascutney, Vermont's Dwight Jarvis started watching race cars from the hillside of Claremont Speedway. And like many kids from the area, he wanted to race. The track featured dirt racing until 1972, when the configuration was changed to a third-mile paved oval. Dwight started on the dirt before the change. On asphalt, he raced against the likes of the Mountain Man, Kirby Monteith, Donnie Ayer, Punky Karen, a Hall of Famer, Alan Whipple, Dave Grants, another Hall of Famer, Ollie Silva, Jack Bateman, Ernie Boudreau, Jerry Dostey, just to name a few. Dwight focused on another local racetrack that had become very popular in New Hampshire, the aforementioned Monadnock Speedway, and that provided a 2-track circuit for Claremont stars and cars. Dwight rolled to his first win at Monadnock and was dubbed Rookie of the Year in 1973, driving for Darcy Hodgdon. 1974 saw 3 wins and a runner-up finish for the Monadnock Championship. The 1975 season, Dwight registered 10 wins. Dwight would steer cars for Dick Hodgdon, his brother Victor Jarvis, and again, a team made up of himself, his father-in-law, and brother in 1979. The 1980s saw a Troya mount and much success. And to this day, Dwight wheels a Troya car, making him the longest running, or as he says, the oldest Troya guy around. The famed black number 28 was conceived when racing with Jack Ryan in 1991. A car color of black and the number 28 he still carries to this day. 22 more wins between 1990 and 1998, including 3 more championships. And in 2006, he won the True Value Modified Racing Series Championship. All totaled, 47 wins and 5 championships at Monadnock. And from 1989 to 2003, 63 wins and 13 track championships at Claremont, including 5 times a Thompson 300 qualifier. The calculator says 117 career wins, 18 championships, and of course that 1 Touring Series championship with the True Value Modifieds. Dwight Jarvis still continues to race today with the Tri-Track Series and the bi-weekly modified shows at Claremont. Anyone and everyone that knows Dwight Jarvis has a story. We all have that one person we all know in the racing game that makes you smile, makes you laugh, and constantly has you saying, I don't believe what I just seen, and I don't believe what I just heard. Dwight Jarvis is one of those guys. Let me take you back to June 21st, 1975. It was a very special day for Dwight. Yeah, it was race day at Claremont. But it was the day he and his fiancée, Bonnie Hodgson, tied the knot. Their wedding day. Dwight, being the real racer that he is and continues to be, said, "I do." And then later, you guessed it, headed to Claremont Speedway. Then track owner Sonny Flory, aware that the new Mr. and Mrs. Jarvis were celebrating their marriage, prior to the start of the feature, had Claremont police conduct a sobriety test on Dwight, had him walk the line to make sure he was good to go. Dwight was good to go. Yeah, he put a ring on Bonnie's finger that day, but he also carried Sonny Flory's checkered flag around the Claremont Speedway as the winner of the modified feature that night. Dwight and his wife Bonnie, their two daughters, Jody and Jennifer, they have 5 grandchildren. They're biggest fans, Dwight's biggest fans. Like Richie, Maynard, Ronnie, George, and Fred, race fans know who you speak of when you mention their first names. When you mention Dwight or DJ, or as they say up the Scutney way, Dwight, the racing industry knows who you speak of. Dwight has been a fan favorite for many, many years. I know in our calls with the Modified Racing Series, he's always been a joy. A joy not only to watch, but to call the action with Dwight Jarvis in it. And I always made it a point to point out to the fans, the hardcore fans knew it, the casual probably, but the new people, I'd always point out, keep an eye on the black 28. Because around lap 50, he's going to roll up the sleeves and go to work. He always did. He'll give you a show. Well-deserved, great racer, and a very big favorite in the pit area as well. Looked upon by youngsters that are getting in the racing game, and even longtime veterans for advice, suggestions, and if you need help to get to the front, Dwight Jarvis would offer his advice to help you along the way. It's the kind of racer he's always been. So with all that said, it is an honor to present the 2016 New England Hall of Fame. Once again, Dwight Jarvis is on his way to the front. Come on up here, pal. Dwight Jarvis. As we'd say during the call, Dwight Jarvis is on his way to the front again.
Thank you, John. Not the front where I like to be. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, John Spence Sr., for a great introduction and getting all this going. It's been a real honor to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. First and foremost, I would like to thank my family. My wife, Bonnie, been with me from the start and has never missed a race. Without her, I wouldn't be here today. Thank you. My daughters, Jody and Jennifer, and their families. All the love and support throughout the years. I would also like to thank my brother Peter, my nephew Joey, for continuing the family name in racing. By Joey winning the 2006 Claremont Speedway Modified Champion. Congratulations, Joe. Thank you to the Rathbuns. They've been fans since the start. Geraldine Rathbun, being the president of my fan club, with the one member, her daughter Sherry. Throughout my 43 years of racing, I've had some great crew members. Some of them are here with me today. David Kibbe has been with me off and on since '77. Thank you. Charlie Well, who helped me for many years, also bringing his youngest son, Michael, who is now my crew chief. Michael has stuck with me for many years and is an amazing crew chief and a great friend. Thank you. Philly Chastity, who has helped me not only on the car, but behind the scenes, capturing some great memories with his camera. Thank you. Thank you all for everything and helping me make my racing career successful. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the sponsors I've had throughout the years. We all know how important those sponsors are. Thank you all so much. This is so much to me. Thank you.